Welcome to your council, your priorities. Our budget. The council has two primary sources of revenue: council tax, which accounts for around 15%, and the block grant from the Scottish Government accounting for 80%, with 5% from other sources. The figures announced by the Scottish Government in their draft budget for next year represent a 3.5% average cut to local government, with the cut in North Lanarkshire's grant being 3.8%. It means we will have to find £34.6 million to balance the budget for next year. That £34.6 million is broken down like this. The Scottish Government funding reduction accounts for more than £15.5 million. We have employee cost pressures, like a pay award and auto-enrolment in pensions demanded by legislation, which account for another £13 million. There are other legislative changes accounting for £1.8 million and inflation of £1.7 million. A small number of this year's savings have to be reviewed, and there is one-off funding for a number of initiatives this year which won't be continued next year, amounting to £7.1 million. There are two elements to this council tax figure, which offset some of these savings. Just over £4 million comes from the decision of the Scottish Parliament to vary what are known as council tax multipliers.
Each council sets council tax for a Band D property, and the amounts in other bands are percentages of this Band D figure. The Scottish Parliament decided last year to increase the multipliers for properties in bands E to H. This wasn't a council decision, but will mean that householders with homes in bands E to H will pay more council tax. For a Band E household, of which there are nearly 15,000 in North Lanarkshire, that means their council tax bill will go up by £104 per year, rising to a £509 increase for Band H households.
The other £4 million in this figure relates to the decision by the Scottish Government to allow councils to increase council tax next year by up to 3%. Council tax has been frozen by the Scottish Government for a number of years. You can see from this chart how our expenditure is broken down across the council. More than a third of our expenditure is in employee costs, with another third in property costs and payments to others, for example, contractors and alios who run services such as leisure and culture on our behalf.
It's these big areas of expenditure where big savings will help us meet the budget gap. But our people are crucial to delivering public services, and the council has maintained an approach of avoiding compulsory redundancies. So we have already taken big steps towards rationalising the number of buildings we deliver service from. And in terms of the priorities I talked about, we need to ensure all our contracts produce both value for money and long-term savings. We have taken a different approach to budgeting this year. In the past, we set individual services of the council a target and asked them to come up with options to save. We then consulted on those options before the council set its budget. But because we have a much sharper focus on our priorities and a more collaborative corporate approach to our work, decisions will be made based on those priorities.
Key questions for you in our consultation are about those priorities. We would like you to rank them in order of importance to you, and then tell us if we have missed something. We'd also like to know about your community priorities and your views on council tax. The survey takes just a few minutes. We would be grateful for your feedback, which we'll use to test our priorities. Flexibility of the council plan is crucial, and we will listen to your views and make any revisions that are necessary. Please do visit our website and take part. Thank you very much for your time.